guys, we've got another tutorial today, but I just thought I'd come on here and introduce myself first because I haven't actually done that. So my name is Abby and I am a graphic designer. Been in the business for about 5 years now and started my own business, Abby Design, about 1 year ago. So let's get into the illustration. So I've chosen a photo that I'm going to turn into my illustration. I'm just going to create a layer for this and I'm going to change the opacity to around 60%, so when we do draw the outlines over the top, it's going to make it a lot easier for us. So I'm just renaming the layer so I know exactly what layer is what. And then I'm going to find a brush for my outline. I like to use a thick one that's thin at both ends as it makes it a lot more flowy and a lot more easier. I'm going to get the point to about 4 on this pen, zoom in as much as you want, and then we're just going to go for it. It doesn't really matter how neat it is, as we will get rid of these lines later on as we won't be using them. It's just a rough outline for you to know where you're going to infill the hair, where you're going to sort of shade on the face. I'm just going to go into the lips now, and I quite like doing them for some reason. I kind of get a satisfaction out of drawing the lips. So I'm just going to go through the crease of the lips now and make sure that is correct. Just going to draw the nose, just needs to be a rough outline. Like I said, we are going to go and get rid of these lines later on. I'm going to move on to the eyebrows now. Just again, rough outline, doesn't need to be perfect, like that. And then I'm going to draw the other one. I kind of like to work sideways as well. I don't know if anyone else does this, but it kind of works for me. Just going to do the 2 strands here so we know where they are when we infill them later. Just draw that. Just thinking if there's anything else that I need to infill. Nope. So I'm just going to go onto the eyes and just a thick line for the eyeliner because hers is quite thick on the image. I'm just going to create another layer underneath the eyes that I've drawn, just so it makes it easier, as we don't want to mix these layers, and it's a lot easier in the process if we want to go back to change the eye colour. Okay, so I'm going to choose a white so I can start infilling behind the outline. So on our layer, we're going to just infill this with a nice thick pen, trying not to go out of the black lines, but if you do, don't worry, we're just going to use the rubber if it goes out. So I'm just going to quickly infill this for you now, and then I'm going to grab a black pen and just add this onto the eye layer, and we're just going to do the little, I don't know what it's called, but the little crease in the eye area on both of the eyes. If you do go wrong, remember you can just double tap on the screen to go back. So obviously as we start to cover the illustration, we're going to lose the image behind. So what I like to do is duplicate this image and move it where there is space on the background. So I'm just going to add it to the top right here now. Just so I have a reference at all time, just in case I start adding some weird things to the image that aren't even there. So once we've got that, I'm going to go straight back to the eyes, see what colour her eyes are. What I like to do as well is use the eyedropper tool. We're just going to drag this over the eye, fill it out, and just pick a colour that is near the eye colour. So for this one, her eyes are a nice green colour. We're just going to take the thick pen again and, oh, wrong size, just up the size on the left hand side. So yeah, we're just going to infill the eye now with the green, and just do the other eye, making sure that you stay inside the black line. We are on the layer behind the outline as well, so we can go back to it. Okay, now we're going to move on to the eyelashes. So I take my eyelash pen I made myself, and we're just going to layer this up. I like the brush pen that I made because it is thicker at one end and thinner at the other, just like an eyelash would be. So yeah, we're just going to keep layering this up until it looks right, making sure you're going in the way that the eyelash would go, otherwise it's just going to look a bit silly. So yeah, we're just going to keep going with that one, make sure I'm happy with it, make sure you zoom in and out so you can see a nice perspective on it. So just going to do the other eye now, just speed this up for you so you can see, and then yeah, we're just going to keep going, keep adding your eyelashes. maybe thicken up the brush as well, just to get some different thickness of the eyelash. And we're going to do the same for the bottom lashes now, just making them a lot thinner by using a smaller point on the pen, and then we're just going to go in the way that the eyelashes would go, exactly like the picture is. You can kind of trace over it as well. Okay, let's move on to the lips now. I'm just going to infill this with a base colour, and then I'm going to come back to this one later once I've infilled the face. So let's go on to the hair now. What we're going to do is we're just going to grab a nice blue colour from the hair. You can eyedrop this if you want. And then we're just going to infill the black outline that we created. Then we're going to go in with a lighter colour and a darker colour as well. Just going to use our blend brush. I'm just going to blend all these colours together just to start building up the layers of the hair. So I'm just using a normal brush to do this, to add the highlights in and the lowlights. So now I'm just adding in the highlights and then just grabbing my blend brush, and we're just going to blend all of the highlights in together. Then we're just going to go in and get a darker colour, just blend that in nicely. Remember, when you do this, you are on a separate layer from the eyes and the outline, just because it will start to get a bit crazy if you aren't using separate layers when you're doing your hair. It just makes it a whole lot easier finding each layer when you do it. So I've removed the outline now just to see what it's going to look like, and it kind of looks pretty cool already. So I'm just going to speed this up for you now so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so we're just going to go in and infill the face now, creating the base layer for where we're going to start shading. So I'm just going to shade in the cheekbones and around the head and around the neck as well. Just going in on the nose, under the hair, creating that shadow as if the hair is on top. Then we're going to go in on the nose, really work on it, to try and make it similar as we can to the right hand picture. So I'm just using the airbrush tool and the blend brush to create this. We're adding in the highlights now just to make it look like the nose. So I've added some highlights to the cheekbone and the forehead. So whilst I'm on the face, I'm going to start doing the eyebrows. So I've done a base colour of a dark blue, and then we're just going to go in with a thin brush, and we're just going to get a dark colour and just do the little eyebrow pieces. The key here is just layering. So we're going to go in with a dark colour first, then I'm going to go over with an even darker colour to get in the tones that you would have in the eyebrow, and then I'm just going to go in with a lighter colour to get the highlights in there. So I'm just going to keep going in with the darker colour, add some sort of outlines to it, but we're going to go over this with some wispy bits. Obviously eyebrows aren't dead on straight. So I think this is going to be my favourite part of it all, the eyes. I'm going to try and really make them pop. So I'm just adding in the different shades of blue that I see in the right hand side image. Once I've got the sort of 4 colours that I see, I'm just going to blend them together and add in, I'm going to add in a lot of highlight actually here, just to make the image pop a lot. So I'm just going to go in, make sure I'm blending the blues together. On her image, the light blue really stands out and isn't blended into the dark blue, so I'm going to keep that in as I think that looks pretty good on there. I'm just going to go in and add some more of the dark, and then I'm going to get the light colour and I'm going to add this around the bottom of the eyes as in the right hand image. Just going to go in and start lighter and work our way to a darker colour, just adding a few different blues in here to make the image pop again. This is really making her eyes look amazing, I'm not gonna lie. So we're just gonna go out now and I'm gonna have a look at the hair again. So I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but I always feel like I've missed stuff, so I just tend to sort of swap from one thing to another, just like the hair now. So now we're just going to go in on the lips because I didn't really do these. We're going to add the white to the teeth, and then we're just going to get some darker colour, really go around the lips, make an outline as hers are quite dark as an outline on her image. So we're just going to do this, and we're going to add some highlights from the reflection of the light, which has really made the lips come to life. So once I'm happy with that, I feel like I really need to work on the shading under the chin and on the neck. So I'm just going to go in and get my airbrush tool, and I'm just going to go in and get a darker colour and really shade her neck to, it sort of defines the face as well. So just go in and create some shadows. I created a shadow under bits of the hair as well to make that look 3D. So just going back on the hair because I feel like once again that I've missed stuff, so I'm going to go in with some darker colours to really make the hair pop. Okay, so I've added a lot of highlight onto the hair, which I think looks amazing now. It is key to just keep working on it. Even if you think it doesn't look good, just keep going and I promise you it will get better. So I'm just going over the lips again to make these stand out even more. And I'm just changing up the shoulder as I felt like it just didn't sit right with me. I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to add some more shading. I'm just going to go back to the hair and sort that fleck out here just because it didn't look right. And then I'm just going to add some more shadows and some more dark bits just because I want to make it pop even more. And we're going to add some shine to the hair just by getting a lighter blue with the airbrush tool. We're going to turn the opacity down a bit, and then we're just going to go over a few bits where we think the shine should be. Okay, now on another layer we're just going to add a black line using a thick pen just to shape the body. So once we've done that, I'm going to just add some shading to the shoulder. This is where the arm is going to sit for where she's going to hold her makeup brushes. I'm going to add in a top that actually isn't in the picture, but I feel like it needs something there, so I'm just going to add in a black sort of bralette. That makes sense. It does in my head, so I hope it looks okay. And then I'm just going back over the hair now. Okay, time to add in the arm now. Let me know if you want to see how I actually create the arm, because I do this in another layer, but it's just easier if I use the same hand for my portrait. So I'm just going to change the colour and match the skin tone to what I've done. So just going to add in the highlights and the shadows to where I think they would be on the hand. Right guys, we're on the last step. We're going to add the background in. So I'm just using a spray paintbrush. I'm not digging this colour though, so I'm probably going to change it, which is really simple to do. Just go to the adjustments tab and select hue, and then you can see a range of different colours that you can change it to. So I think I'm just going to add in some sparkles and just make that shine there, and then voila! This is the end result. Let me know what you guys think. I am in love with it, especially the hair. That really does pop. Thanks for watching my video. Let me know if there is anything that you want me to draw, or if you need any tips on anything. Just leave a comment below, give this a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more content.